Hello friends, welcome to Techno channel. We are continuing our journey on Vue.js JavaScript framework. So I have created several other tutorial. You can see from beginning I have created one playlist where you can watch previous videos. Okay. And today we'll try to cover event handling. If you click on button, how we can execute a method and we can we can play with the variables and the different functions on clicking or on doing event manipulation. And I'm using Visual Studio Code and I'm using dark theme. So here in the right hand side I have HTML and I have added the script tag to Vue.js, and this is left hand side my application file application.js where I have write Vue code. And this is my Chrome browser. I am using some small style set to make a dark color theme, and this is my console. If I use any console.log, here it will be displayed. Okay, now without further ado, let us start. Let me create a button. Okay, and inside the button we can place V on click handler. Okay, so V-on is a special kind of directive from Vue.js framework, and this click, and we can define HTML specific events on click, mouse over, or mouse out, or keyboard press. This kind of, and click is quite common. Okay, so on clicking we can do any operation. Let us try a simple operation. Let me define a variable counter. I will initialize with 0. So here counter 1. So what I am doing, I am executing a simple JavaScript expression over here, and instead of name, let me put counter. Okay. Let me reload this page. So let me give some name here. Okay, so I have created a button. On V-on is the Vue directive, which will watch this click and which will execute the code which is written inside that. So click is an event type. So we can increment this counter, count plus 1. So if I click here, so whatever the value we have initially 0 will be added, 1 will be added here. So let me see, count 1, 2, 3, 4. You can display over here. So we can change it to, for example, 5. So let me reload this page. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. So it will be incremented like that. But usually it is not good practice to define JavaScript expression over here. So usually it is recommended way that we can call any method. For example, let me call a method welcome. So greeting. Okay, so let me change this. So if you see, welcome is defined. So if I reload, so we have to define this function. So here in this section, methods. So for example, like data, this method has some properties. Okay, inside this property it will take object. So here we can define our own function. So we can create several kind of function. Okay, so let me reload. So if you see over here, nothing will happen. So if I click over here, nothing will happen because we have not written anything. So instead of counter, let me try to put name. Okay, so let us see name here. Okay, so let me get rid of this. John, greeting. So now what I would like to do, if we come here, I would like to change this name. This dot name we can access this properties, and here we can write any messages plus this dot name. So it will actually change the name variable. So if I click reload this page and click greetings, so it is saying welcome John. So this is not very good example because this dot name is changed with the message. If I click over here, it will say welcome John, but I'm directly manipulating the model of variable, which is not very good way. But I just want to show some example so you understood how we can call a method, and whatever you are planning to do, it is completely up to you. Okay. Now, as per a bonus tip, so in this function we are not passing anything, but still there would be one event type will be passed automatically by this Vue.js framework. So this contains several kind of property. So for example, let me for example, okay, I would like to see where you exactly click. So target tag name. Okay, so here we can access a lot of properties, event. Okay, so target tag name. Okay, so target tag name, I just printed this particular thing. So you can access any Google around. So this is a simple DOM element, DOM event object model. So you can get access to it. There are a lot of properties, you can leverage it. So let me reload this page, and on clicking this button, so here you can see tag name is button. Okay, so if you like to just print the event, we can do that. So I'll show you a little bit. Reload. Okay, so see, if you see here, there are a lot of stuff. So this is all available. Also, we can pass any message here if you don't want to, So I'll try to pass some message over here. Let's say, okay. So here, instead of event, we can specify message, okay. And we can try to access this message over here. So let's reload the page. So John, if we click on this button greeting, so this will be executed and we can pass any variable. In this case, we are passing this message and it should be displayed. See, howdy John. Okay. So this is the way we can pass you can pass any string, number, or any other. Also, in this case, if you think that let us try to access this event parameter. Reload this page. Okay. So if you notice over here, if you try to pass any first parameter by something else, so the event will come as null or undefined. So if you still want to pass, there is one way to pass it. If you can separate by comma and $event. This is the way you can pass this event object explicitly inside this method. Okay, now let's reload. So now you can able to see it. Okay, so if you don't pass any parameter, event will become by default. But if you want to pass, any other variable, you have to pass explicitly. And also, once you get hold of events, so you can do a number of things. For example, event dot prevent default. I think these are the very standard behavior, because if you don't want to get form submitted, or you don't want to, on clicking, you don't want to have the defined or browser behavior or the browser default behavior, you can say prevent default. Also, if there are some events are usually propagated from child to parents, so you can stop propagation using calling this event. This is the pretty standard JavaScript stuff, nothing related with Vue.js. But the point I'm trying to explain here, this is all event mechanism you can use inside this function. Okay. Now, also this kind of event propagation, Vue provided some very easier way to do it. Okay, you can definitely pass this event and do this prevent default and stop propagation. But if you would like to prevent the default or the stop propagation, you can click prevent. Simple. On click, prevent means it will want to prevent default behavior. If the button will click or form will click, something will happen. So there are a couple of other things like stop. I'll create some use case to explain it, but just to you got something is there. So we can do both the things, stop, prevent. So it will be chain. So it is same as doing this. Also, when we discuss about events, so we can't ignore or we can't only focus on the mouse events. So there are several other kind of keyword events. For example, we have let me define a button one more time. Let me reload this. Input type submit. Okay, so I have defined a submit button over here. So here, as earlier, we can define a p on click is equal to submit. So let me quickly try to define this function submit. Okay, on clicking the submit, let's say this dot name will change it to this dot submit. This is a very simple example. This it will display the John is submitted, right? Okay, it is working fine. There is no way any problem. Okay, so here we can instead of click, we can also do key up. If some, let's say, reload this page. See, if I do a tab and a submit is selected, so I refresh this page, right? I am pressing the tab button. Okay, so when it is going to the submit, this John submitted is working. So again I tap, so it is again appended. Okay, so if I place space, then also it is getting appended. If I press enter, then also it is getting appended. When there are a lot of key, it is responding. Okay, but as for I have a small requirement. I don't want this to be submit would be executed if you press tab or space or enter. I would like to only press enter, then only the submit should be button. Now that is quite simple. After this key up, we can use this. Each keyword has character. You can Google it and you will find the character list mapping for all the keyboard character. F1, F2 have some different meaning and all these things. So 13 is for enter. So now reload this page. Now let me do tab. So if I see tab, nothing is happening. If I press space, see, if you can see submit is clicking, but nothing is happening. But if I press enter, so it is responding. Okay. So I have to select the submit. It is responding. But who on earth will remember this character like 13, 14, 15? So to simplify our life, Vue is just provided us some very understandable name. So we can use enter and that will work exactly the same. I'm pressing tab, nothing is happening. I'm pressing space, nothing is happening. But if I'm pressing enter now, it is working fine. So there are a lot of things we can use. Say, for example, I don't want to use enter. We can use tab. Okay, reload this page. I am pressing tab, something is happening. I am pressing space, nothing is happening. I am pressing enter, nothing is happening. So we can use enter, tab, delete, escape, space, up, down curve, left, right. All this combination you can use. And also you can also in the Vue config, there is a key code. So in the config, you can define your own character and or on your letter combination. So you can use it. So which is quite flexible. So I think this should be enough for today. And guys, if you like my video, kindly like it. Or if you want to keep updated about my new videos, definitely subscribe to it. And also, if you want to help me, please spread my videos over, Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere you like. So thanks again. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.